Meanwhile, the South Africa Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment says the sewage water discharge into the ocean around Cape Town poses no immediate threat to the environment and is common practice worldwide. This was in response to criticism and a pending appeal against the department's issuing of coastal water discharge permits. The coastal discharge is an ongoing source of concern for many city stakeholders, among them water scientists and water sports enthusiasts who claim plumes of contaminated water pose a health risk. Action SA confirmed last week the party had met attorneys and would appeal against the grant of the permits, which are valid for a further 5 years. And now joining me on the news to discuss this issue is Action SA Western Cape Provincial's chairperson, Michelle Wasserman. Action. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at this time, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, your party is challenging the Department of Environment for issuing licenses of coastal discharge, but the department recently said that this method is common in the world. Why exactly are you against it?
Well, the thing about the city of Cape Town, which is possibly different from other cities in the world, is that some of the areas where the sewage is being discharged into are actually marine protected areas. And these are areas of the coastline of the ocean that are specifically protected for the benefit of the people and nature. And I think in other parts of the world, the sewage is not raw sewage. For instance, I know that in the USA, that sewage has to be treated before being pumped into the ocean. And one of the areas in which we differ from the department is that they say that the sewage is preliminary treated, and we say that it is raw sewage. It has only gone through various sieves. But what goes into the ocean is, in fact, raw sewage that is full of hormones, chemicals, anti-inflammatories, pharmaceuticals, toxins. And this has really got a negative impact not only on the environment, but also on human health.
Now, from what you're saying now, the dumping of waste in our oceans have an effect to the marine and our environment. Now, has the government made any plans to see to it that coastal communities' health and that of the ocean itself is protected? What exactly are they doing about it?
No, this is what is worrying us so much. The permit that they've issued really makes the role that the city plays one of monitoring, to have a look at how much effluent is going into the water. And also in terms of quality, there are only certain elements that they're saying shouldn't go in. And the permit doesn't refer to things like hormones or pharmaceuticals. The other problem is that the permit only says that the city has to implement a monitoring plan and gives them a full year and a half to put that plan in place. And if monitoring isn't done, this may affect the renewal of their permit. There aren't tight time constraints and penalties if the city doesn't put plans in place. The other thing that the permit does is it says that the city must simply investigate and not ensure the improvement in effluent quality. And it also talks about investigating a means of minimizing the impact on the environment and not eradicating the impact on the receiving environment, which is the ocean.
Last week, your party said it had met attorneys and would appeal against the granting of the permits. What exactly are you expecting and what has been the outcome so far?
Okay. So, we understand that because this has come over a long period of time and there has been a failure to ensure that the correct infrastructure is in place. And therefore, you can't just turn the tap off and stop the sewage from going into the sea. But what we do want is for the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment and the City of Cape Town to ensure that within the shortest space of time, and we think within a minimum of 3 years, that the necessary infrastructure must be built, which processes the sewage so that all harmful elements are taken out of it before it goes into the sea. So if the department and the city don't commit to this themselves, then we're going to ask the court to make sure that they do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle Wasserman, for joining us on the news and talking about all of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.